Who doesn't love lasagna? I mean, when I was growing up, we'd have lasagna once a week.
Really?
I was the master of lasagna at my house. But look, when you've got Adam coming in and he makes his lasagna, it always beats mine. We're making a vegetarian option today.
Yeah, vegetarian, something different. And the San Remo curly lasagna sheets. But there's a few processes to this dish, so we need to get them on the go.
Okay.
Eggplant. So what I need to do, Justine, is basically slice them lengthways, salt them, and then we're going to let them sit for a good 10-15 minutes. I'm going to get my sauce on whilst we're doing this.
And, you know, vegetarian, I always try to tell people to have one night off a week from meat. And it's hard to do sometimes, but this is a great option because you don't miss the meat when you're eating a vegetarian lasagna like this, do you?
I never thought of it like that. One night off a week.
Yeah, one night off a week.
I'm going to try that at home. It's good. So I've just added some olive oil into the pan. I've got my tomato passata here. I'm going to get me garlic. So make some noise.
Right.
Look, squash that big sucker, look. And I'm just going to slice it up a little bit.
Adam, for those who don't know at home, why are we salting our eggplant?
Okay, so we're taking out all the moisture and the bitterness in the actual eggplant, and it works well, you know. And we do a dish in the restaurant, moussaka, which is like the Greek version of lasagna, yeah, but it's got meat in it. And we fry them off and they come nice and crispy and all that. And so, yeah, the eggplants need to be salted.
Yep, okay.
So I just really want this garlic just to fry off a little bit.
Okay, so you're not finely chopping it or anything?
No, you know me.
Yeah.
Just get it in there. Because what we're going to do, we're going to quickly cook off this sauce. I just want to get the rawness out of the passata. So we're looking about 10 to 15 minutes. So it works, coincides with our eggplant salting. And then we're just going to let it cool down. And then we put our lasagna together and then into the oven.
Yum. So I'm just salting, layering some more eggplant on top because we've got quite a lot to get through. Then a little bit more salt.
And when you salt them, the volume, so they will shrink down. Obviously the moisture comes out, so it works well. Passata into the pan.
So that's around 750ml, standard jar you get from all good supermarkets, or if you're lucky enough, my friend's mum, she makes this every summer, and then we've got a couple. It's just so much better.
I have to bring some in for you next time.
Do you make it too?
Yeah, of course.
I love it.
I really want to show this one. So you still got all that beautiful passata in there. Just add good amount of water, give it a bit of swish around, and in that goes as well. Now that just helps, obviously, stretch out the passata, the sauce. Because we're going to cook it on a rapid heat, we really want it to boil vigorously. But to get rid of that rawness really fast, it will reduce. So adding the water helps us still have the volume that we need to make our lasagna.
All right, well, I'll finish slicing these eggplants, salting them, and then I guess we can start grilling. Rightio, eggplant is ready to go, just cool down just a touch.
Yeah, and we got our sauce all done here. So let's put this lasagna together.
Okay.
Sauce on the base. Yep. Always sauce on the base, Justine. Basically, what happens is if you don't put sauce on the bottom of your dish, your pasta's going to obviously be dry and it's going to stick to it. So what happens is these instant sheets, they absorb the sauce, keep it nice and moist, and you don't get that crusty, dry bottom pasta.
Exactly.
So we've got the wide sheets. You see those curls there? It's just going to give a different texture, obviously, when we cut into the lasagna, and the sauce just oozes into those little grooves, something different.
And it looks, when you cut into it, it looks beautiful too, doesn't it?
And look, you only need 2 for a layer.
Perfect. Perfect fit. Beautiful.
Okay, a bit more sauce over this one. We want to do about 4 layers. Okay, eggplants, just with your fingers, just tear them up into pieces and just spread it over. Now, we're just doing like a layer effect, so you don't want to place them in whole, okay? Now, this is the thing. When you cut into it, then you're going to get these big pieces, and that's very hard to obviously consume. So if you tear it up, you get these nice layers and bite-sized pieces of the eggplant.
Yeah, good little tip. See, I never do that.
Now, ricotta. Now, the reason why I'm adding ricotta is obviously, again, moisture, that cheesiness, and it will just melt down into the eggplant and the tomato and the pasta. Now, fingers,
crumble that.
Crumble that over.
Hands, And this is quite dry ricotta, which is, again, a very important thing.
So if you went to your supermarket and bought your standard ricotta, all you want to do is get a strainer, okay, and just place your ricotta into there just for, half an hour to an hour and let all the moisture, all that juice obviously come out, and that dries it out. Now, if you had more time, you could leave it overnight in, say, a clean tea towel or some cheesecloth, and that will definitely dry out your ricotta. Now, sun-dried tomato. See, we could add, like, tomato paste, which is obviously big and concentrated and bold in flavours, but I like the sun-dried, just natural, and it gives a different element to this dish. Then just some basil.
Yep.
Just little pieces over it like that. Now, just some Parmesan to finish on every layer. A little bit complex, yeah, but the flavours later on once it's baked. Oh.
All right, let's keep building our lasagna. We're going to pop it in the oven and bake it 180 degrees?
180, right on the money, for about 35 to 45 minutes.
Beautiful.
There we go. Out of the oven, curly lasagna with eggplant, tomato and ricotta. Now, just let it sit, Justine, just for about 5 minutes, so it's not too piping hot.
Exactly.
You're going to cut into it?
I would love to do that. A big portion for you and I.
And see, we didn't cover the lasagna at all the whole time. See, you might be worried, oh, it's going to dry out or it might get too brown on top, but perfect.
All right, let's try to get this out in one big go. Why are you letting me do this? You always do it better than me.
It's all right. Pressure's on.
Pressure is on. Look at that. That is the perfect lasagna.
Very good. Buono.
Buono. Look at that. Beautiful. I think we should have a taste, shouldn't we?
It's good.
That is so good. And you're not missing the meat whatsoever. It's rich, it's lush. You know, the eggplants sort of take over the meat there.
They have. And I've just got a mouthful of the sun-dried tomato, so it was just an explosion. It's
exactly.
great.
Delicious lasagna. And like I said, once a week, meat-free, try Adam's lasagna. It's a treat.